that, you know, a lot of people go, oh yeah, but it's a great idea and I'm going to own 100% of this movie. So, great, if you never make it, you made 100% of zero. And if you find somebody who actually has better relationships than you, and actually can get the movie somewhere, but you have to give up half of it to that person, what the hell? Give them 50%, at least 50% of something as opposed to 100% of nothing. People get so caught up in, what's my deal? The deal is, if you get a movie made, a good chance that you as a filmmaker or the screenwriter will end up making zero. So at least if you accept that going in, then anything you get beyond that is like manna from heaven.
I think networking is super important. I think a neglected part of networking is maintaining the contacts you do have. Because I think a lot of people are really excited about who they're going to meet next and how they can get in touch with this person. Does anyone know? Can anyone introduce me to that person? But the fact is the people you're going through film school with, the people you're making your first movies with, are probably people you're going to be working with for most of your career. So maintaining your existing contacts is almost as important as going out and trying to make new contacts.
Maybe even more. I mean, I think that's what he just said is so, Dr. said is so true. If you actually, again, I wasted too much of my youth just watching movies and reading things people are reading, or books about movies.
Yeah.
Books about movies. And what it was really clear to see that even though we all have this heroic image of the artist and the individual, and it's particularly nonsense applied to a collective medium like film, that again, unless you are Jim Cameron, who probably could do every job on his own set, you can. It's not just that the process of making it requires people. It's that if you actually look historically, it's very rare that individuals actually just somehow come out like that. It's almost always cohorts who come up together, out of film school together, out of the same theater companies together, out of the same low-budget movies together, out of the same comedy shows. Right? And then you notice, wow, there's all these comedies and the same people keep showing up in them and they produce each other's movies. Same thing for the horror movies. Oh wait, that guy wrote the Saw movie and then he directed this and then it's like that. So what I'm saying is true. In fact, the most important concepts you're making are your horizontal ones.
Yeah,
because you will write together.
Anything. Like I've always been one of those people that if I'm available, I will, like, to a friend, like people I've been going out with, like sure, of course. Like I'll put that on my calendar for that weekend and like, why wouldn't you do that? I don't understand those people who, like, they get to a certain point, like, oh, I would have to get my rate to do it. And it's like, why would you not just be supporting everybody around you and trying as hard as you can for all of you? I mean, a rising tide, you know?
We got another question? There, back.
What are your guys' thoughts on crowdfunding, like Indiegogo, Kickstarter?
You want to repeat the question?
Yeah, what's his view on crowdfunding and Indiegogo and Kickstarter? You know, it was very interesting about, I don't know, 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, I was working on a documentary a friend of mine made about Sarah Palin, and we were struggling trying to raise the P&A to release the movie, so we thought, okay, and I read that Kickstarter, I wondered if this would work, and we did it. We raised $30,000, and it was really more of an experiment to see if we could get it. And actually, one of the people who wanted to give $10,000 called us directly and said, "Can I give you $10,000 and get a slightly better deal than what's being offered on Kickstarter?" So it actually worked out quite well. And I have a friend now who I used to produce movies with when I first started making films, who's now working for Indiegogo doing their movie part. And he's pressuring me like crazy, saying, come on, let's find something that we could do on Kickstarter. I mean, on Indiegogo. So I do think that that's a viable thing at the moment. I just have a feeling that at some point it's going to be overused, and then, you know, then that'll be over and that battle will be over. But at the moment, you know, I think it's a way. It's very rare that the money comes into Kickstarter that doesn't come from people that you already know, or people who know that know you, and it's being done as a favor. Because I don't think that there are just like incredible people out there that are just going to put $2,000 in anything that they read about on Kickstarter. It usually has to do with something that either politically turns them on, or is a friend of a friend that's doing it. And when you start to reach some critical mass, yeah, maybe a bunch of people come on and go, oh my God, they're trying to raise 100,000, is that 93,000? Maybe if I give them $50, it will help them get to the next thing. So, but by the way, if you get the money and it's free, which it basically is, it's like, thank you, I'll take it, you know, whatever it is. I mean, I'm sitting there going, okay, what if I went on Kickstarter and asked for $5,000 to help my friend move from one apartment to another? Would I get that $5,000?
If you make a documentary about it.
But use that as one of the tools. Like, don't just raise your budget, raise a portion of your budget, and then go and also do all the other things that we've been touching on tonight, like understand how much you're going to get for a tax credit, understand how much you might get for a foreign sale, like instead of the equity gap or something like that, just have that be the Kickstarter piece, you know, and then size your movie appropriately.
By the way, it's brilliant. If you can get it, do it. I mean, the tricky part with Kickstarter is you have to get to the number that you ask for, and then you just get whatever you get. So,
In the middle here?